Let's take an example of how to follow the flow of rhetoric through one part of a letter. We've been talking a little bit about the overarching way to follow the flow of a letter. Let's look at one extended section of a letter, 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 58. This chapter really centers on resurrection from beginning to end. But what is the flow of the argument? What's the flow of rhetoric that runs through this part of the letter, through this chapter? Well, in the first 11 verses, Paul reminds the Corinthians of what they have already heard preached. That is, Christ has died and been raised from the dead. Christ's resurrection has already happened, and it's a sure thing. And he shows it's a sure thing by listing a number of witnesses to it, quite a number of witnesses. This is the best place in the New Testament to see a witness list to Christ's resurrection. He even includes himself, one untimely born, who did not witness the resurrection itself, but witnessed the resurrected Christ. He alludes to his experience that we read about in Acts 9, his experience of the risen Christ.
In this video, I'll show you how to use the Propositional Outlines visual filter in your favorite Bible to discover Paul's flow of thought and the purpose of each line. In the previous two lessons, Dr. Brown explained the importance of investigating the flow of rhetoric, especially in New Testament letters. Then she followed up with an example from 1 Corinthians 15. With Logos, we can enable a special visual filter that will expose this information in our Bible of choice. First, open the ESV to 1 Thessalonians 4 using the command bar. Input the command Open ESV to 1 Thess 4, and Logos will take you to the exact spot. Now, imagine that you're studying a text like 1 Thessalonians 4, 1 through 6. You can transform your ESV Bible into a propositional outline by clicking the visual filter button in the resource toolbar, then selecting this option from the drop-down menu. This visual filter transforms the biblical text so that I can now see the flow of this passage with main points and indented subpoints, distinct units of text that help me pinpoint what to preach and the aim of every line. The propositional outline exposes lines that state divine purpose, manner, comparisons, requests, reasons, and more. And it works in a number of resources. So we can return to the command box and this time input the abbreviation for another English translation, like the NASB. Then click the visual filter button from the resource toolbar, and from the options that appear, turn on propositional outlines. This action will turn on the graphic layout. If you use a Greek New Testament like the NA28, then you can open this resource. Then from the Visual Filters menu, choose to turn on Propositional Outline. And Logos will reformat the text with this graphic display. In a reverse interlinear like the NASB or ESV, I prefer to turn on the interlinear information and expose the Greek text and morphological data. And what's nice is that I can still see the graphic layout of the propositional outlines. Looking at the text in the NASB, I can quickly identify Paul's main thought in this conclusion to his letter, which is to urge believers in Thessalonica to continue to walk in the instruction of the gospel. From verse 1, I learned that the walk or life that Paul refers to here should be done in a manner that pleases God, and according to verse 5, is a life that's not led by passionate lusts. What's cool is that I can highlight over each label and get a better understanding of the purpose of this line of text. Here, lines 1E and 1F, as well as line 5A, describe how we should walk according to the gospel. Then Paul goes on to state that the walk of a believer should be distinct in comparison to the life of a Gentile who does not know God. Believers are instructed to abstain from sexual sins and transgressing against their fellow believers, and in this way, their lives will be distinct. And Paul validates this warning in line 6C, informing the church that the Lord avenges those who have been transgressed or wronged by their brother or sister. As I explore the passage further, it's clear to see why Paul felt compelled to make such a request. The apostle reasoned with his believers, urging them to walk according to the gospel because the message that he's preaching came directly from the Lord Jesus, and that their sanctification is God's will. The Propositional Outlines visual filter serves as a running commentary for this text, giving you insight into the rhetorical flow of any New Testament passage.